Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudevasutam devam kansachanuramardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and we are reading this wonderful discourse, the 9th chapter of Rajavidya, Rajaguhya Yoga. And Sri Krishna is telling us in very clear words that nobody can remain away from me if they intend to come to me. In the 30th Shloka, he told us that even those duracharis, those adhama, those people also have a chance, also have a scope to reach me if giving up all their wrong deeds, giving up all their evils, they take shelter at my lotus feet. They come to me with the repenting heart, and then they start worshipping me with that unflinching devotion. They can come to me. And he also said in the last shlok that we read, the 32nd shlok that we read, that even the underprivileged, the Papa Yoni, what Sri Krishna has described in that 32nd shloka as Mamhi Partha Vipashritya Yepi Syuhu Papa Yonayaha Striyo Vaishyaha Tathā Shudraha Te Api Yanti Param Gatim. Those underprivileged. Now, my interpretation of this Papa Yoni is it is not an inferior birth as such. It is not a sinful birth. No way. Sri Krishna never uses this term sin anywhere as such. But my interpretation of the word Papa Yoni is those underprivileged class of people in our society. And who are the underprivileged? They are mostly the women folk whose sphere of activity traditionally is limited to the four walls of the house. They are not supposed to read scriptures. They are not supposed to be learned intellectuals. But still we find among women folk, the Gargis and Maitris and the Brahmavadinis, we find in the women folk those who have beaten the men folk in terms of debates on the spiritual matters. They have just, in Hindi as they say, dhajjiya udana. They have just cut them into pieces in those debates and discussions on the spiritual matters. Such highly learned women of those times, the Brahmavadinis. And of course the other, but mostly overall the women folk, they are underprivileged. That we have to agree. And also underprivileged are the two categories among the social strata. The four castes which have evolved in the Hindu way of living, the Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, the lower two castes. Now, unfortunately, this casteism has got into the jati concept by way of birth. But in reality, this classification of the four castes is not on birth. It is based on the type of work we do. We find the Brahmanas among Shudras. We find Kshatriyas among Vaishyas. And at the same time, we also find Shudras in the Brahmana-born categories. We find the Shudras in the Kshatriya-born categories. So basically, Sri Krishna never says these are the ill, born out of sinful births, or births, defective births, or births with certain limitations. No, it is not that. These are the underprivileged classes. Now, why so? Among these four classes, whether we take the concept as birth-oriented or even the work-oriented, action-oriented, those who are in the field of business, the Vaishya is basically a business category. They really don't have time and energy to lead the spiritual life in normal course of term. But there again, even in the Vaishya's class, even in the Vaishya category, we find the great saints like Tukaram and Namdev and Sant Kabir. They have come up from those classes only. Shudras are, so much burdened with the work. They don't have resources at all. They don't have time as well as energy also. After all the work being done for the benefit of society, the Shudras, the Shudra category of people, they are so tired. They won't have any energy left out at the end of the day. But still, even in the Shudra category, we find so many great saints, so many great learned people, so many great enlightened souls. So Sri Krishna clearly says, even from this underprivileged class, Mam hi Partha Vyapashritya, O Partha, having taken shelter in me, having taken refuge in me, yepi syuhu papayo yunayaha. They might be from this underprivileged class. They might be from this class where they normally don't get opportunity for regular worship, conducting regular sacrifices, conducting regular puja, archana. But if they take surrender me, these category of people from the underprivileged class, the Striyaha, Vaishyaha, tathā Shudraha, the women folk, the business class people, and the menial workers, the labor class people, the Striya, Vaishya and Shudra, they also, Api is also, they also, these underprivileged category of people, Yanti Param Gatim, they also reach the ultimate goal. Such a wonderful statement Sri Krishna has made, that forget about all those wretched, they will also come. But even now here Sri Krishna has basically categorized overall people in the social stream. One, he says, is Durachari, that they are absolutely wretched, they have done all the ills, they have done all the evils. Then comes a superior grade of people. They may be Papa Yoni. They may be underprivileged, but they are not Durachari. They are not Naradhama. They are not people with the evil tendencies, or just that they have not got the opportunities to worship the Lord. So even such people, like women folk, like the business class people, like the labor class people, the Striya, Vaishya, Shudra, if they surrender to me, if they take refuge in me, even they can reach the Paramgati. They, compared to the Durachari, compared to those wretcheds, their efforts may not be as severe as the wretcheds. They can easily reach me. Sri Krishna says for them, all they have to do is just take refuge in me. So that is the path Sri Krishna has shown, even for the underprivileged class. And now Sri Krishna is going to tell us something about the so-called privileged class. Now there again we must focus, we must realize the words that Sri Krishna actually is using for the so-called privileged classes. Now, what Sri Krishna says in this 33rd shloka, Kim punar brāhmaṇāḥ puṇyā bhaktā rājarṣhayas tathā anityam asukhaṁ lokam imaṁ prāpya bhajasva. Now Sri Krishna is talking about that so-called privileged class of people, the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas. Now, is he talking about all the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas as a whole? No. This is the beauty of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna, he always talks to the specific. He is not generalizing. He is not putting all the Brahmins and the Kshatriyas in this shloka. He says that type of, he has actually specified what types of Brahmanas and what types of Rajarshis. The Rajarshis is basically the royal saints. The Kshatriyas who evolve themselves into the Brahminical mode, they are called as Rajarshis. Or even the Brahmins who happen to be the spiritual advisors to the kings and princes, to the royal courts. They are the Rajarshis. Now, is Sri Krishna saying all of them? No. Sri Krishna says, Kim punar brāhmaṇāḥ puṇyā. Now, Sri Krishna says, when all these people can reach me, what to talk about? The Brahmanas and the Rajarshis. But what kind of Brahmanas? Puṇyā Brahmana. Not the Durachari Brahmana, not the Naradhama Brahmana. What to talk of? The holy Brahmins. Those who are leading the path of saintliness, those who are leading the path of holiness. Those Brahmanas, what to talk of them? And bhaktā rājarṣhayas tathā. And also the Rajarshis, the royal saints, who are filled with devotion. Not all the royal saints, Sri Krishna says. He is categorically specifying the types of Brahmins and the Rajarshis and the royal saints. The Brahmins who are holy, who are pure to the core. The puṇyā Brahmana and the bhaktā Rajarshi. The greatly devoted Rajarshis, the greatly devoted royal saints. If all of them can come to me, Sri Krishna says, the wretched ones, the underprivileged ones, then why to talk about the real privileged ones? And who are the real privileged? Real privileged are the holy Brahmins and the royal saints, the Rajarshis, with total devotion, the unflinching devotion, the unstinted devotion. That is what Sri Krishna means here. Now, with this kind of holiness and the unstinted devotion, what happens? Anityam asukhaṁ lokam imaṁ prāpya bhajasva. Now, having come to this world, how is this world? Sri Krishna says this world is anitya. It is a temporary world. It is not a permanent world. It is absolutely impermanent, anitya. Nothing remains constant forever. Every moment things are changing. Anitya. It is not. It is impermanent, insentient. It is so fragile, this world as such. Every moment it is changing. The last moment is not what next moment is. And the next moment is not what the future moment is going to be. Everything is changing. We are changing. The creation is changing. The universe is changing. So Sri Krishna says, in this anitya world and the asukhaṁ lokam, this world filled of miseries, asukha, this world filled of unhappiness, this world filled of grief. Having come to this world, now, prāpya bhajasva. He says, you just worship me. Don't do anything else. You just worship me in this transient and the unhappy world. So now this is the 33rd shloka Sri Krishna has said. Like from 38th shloka he started telling us that even the wretched ones come to me. In the last verse, that shlok that we read, Sri Krishna said that even the people who don't have the privilege of worshipping me, they also reach me. The women folk and the Vaishyas and the Shudras, they also reach me. So if they all reach, what to talk about the real good people, the real the Brahmin, holy Brahmins and the royal saints with great devotion who are the highly privileged people to worship me. They also come to me. But then, Sri Krishna says, but then all of these people have entered this world which is transient, which is impermanent, and which is absolutely, it is filled with unhappiness, it is filled with misery, it is filled with grief. It is anityam, asukhaṁ, lokam. Now, if you have to survive in this, if you have to live in this transient and the world filled with miseries and griefs and sorrows, then you better take shelter with me. You start worshipping me. That's it. You don't have to do anything. So, how much more to talk about the holy Brahmins and the devoted royal saints? They also, they naturally, I mean, they have opportunities, they come to me, of course. There is no doubt about it. So now Sri Krishna says that all types of people, they come to me. Having come to this, and now Sri Krishna's very potent advice, teaching to Arjuna, that having come to this transient and world filled with miseries, the joyless world, start worshipping me. Just worship me and you will cross over. You will cross over like all those categories of people who cross over and come to me. All those, even the wretched ones, evil ones, the underprivileged ones who have not got opportunity, who normally don't get opportunity to worship me, like that, like those people, the Striya, Vaishya, Shudra. And what to talk about? The holy Brahmins and the devoted, highly devoted royal priests, royal saints. They all come to me. You will also come to me. But if you have to survive in this transient and the joyless world, start worshipping me. Simple message Sri Krishna has given through this 33rd shloka. Now, a Brahmana is one who is perfect in mind and completely given to spiritual life. That is the real Brahmin. Otherwise, an ordinary Brahmin thinking of all those, the worst kind of things, he is no Brahmin at all. A Brahmin doing all sort of bad deeds, the evil conduct, he is no Brahmin at all. So what if he is born in a Brahmin family? And the Kshatriya comes next to him, and provided the Kshatriya is absolutely devoted to God. Otherwise, he is not Kshatriya anymore. The Kshatriya is supposed to protect this entire society. Right? That is his dharma, swadharma. Now, if instead of protecting the society, the Kshatriya starts oppressing the society for that matter, for his selfish interest, he is not a Kshatriya at all. So Sri Krishna is very clear in his teachings. The Brahmin has to be holy Brahmin, and the Kshatriya has to be fully devoted. These two types of highly evolved people can easily attain godhood. Now, this is also a kind of, the hierarchy that Sri Krishna has told us in these last 4 shlokas. People who are totally wretched, they will have to make great efforts in attaining to oneness with the Lord. But Krishna says they will also come, no doubt about it. They have to get rid of all their past tendencies, and they have to evolve and then come to me. underprivileged people who haven't got opportunity to walk on this path of spirituality, they have to surrender to me. They have to just take shelter in me. They have to worship me with unstinted devotion. They also reach me. And what to talk about the holy Brahmins and the devoted Rajarshis. So the efforts put in by these three categories of people, as the aspirants evolve from one category to the next, the efforts start minimizing, and that much ease is there in attaining to the ultimate objective. So what is sought as a fragrant and fresh flower today is cast aside as rubbish tomorrow. What happens when we start doing puja? We select the most fresh flowers. They should not be touched by any insect. We select such. But what happens the next day after offering to the Lord? After offering to the deities in our, the whole thing, we just remove it. It is of no use then. We just remove it and throw it out. Maybe we'll throw it in the Ganges, or if not Ganges, in the river, or in cities, it just goes to the dustbin also. So that is what happens with the offered flowers. And this is the case with everything in the world. And that's why Sri Krishna says this world is transient. This world is ever-changing. This world is anityam. What today is, tomorrow, next moment it is not there. Today this flower I am offering to the deity is the purest of the pure flower. Tomorrow, when I put another flesh flower, what is the value of this flower? It goes to the dustbin. It goes to the garbage even. So that is the type of world we are in. And of course, we seek joys, and time and again during our reading of various shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita, we have talked this point, that people try to gain enjoyment, but do they get joy? No. With every joy comes sorrow. With every happiness comes unhappiness. If with every the positive moment comes the negative moment. That is the kind of asukhaṁ. That is the real nature of this creation. It is anityam, it is asukhaṁ. You won't find permanent happiness in this world. We won't find permanent joy in this world. We won't find permanent peace in this world. Joy comes with sorrow. Happiness comes with unhappiness. Pleasure comes with pain. Peace comes with unrest. Only one thing we get ultimate joy. Only one thing we get ultimate peace. And that is the lotus feet of the Lord. So Sri Krishna says, in this anitya and asukha world, lokam, what you have to do is, you just bhajasva. You worship me. The highly evolved souls, the discerning ones, should therefore take to worship of Ishvara so that they may transcend this relative, this impermanent, this joyless existence and remain into that endless state of eternal peace, eternal joy and eternal happiness. Now, let us summarize this shloka at the end with a teaching from Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna says, how shall we attain the Lord? Now, Lord has said, you attend to me, you devote to me, you start worshipping me and get rid of your entanglement in this anitya and asukha world. Entanglement into this transient and the joyless world. Get rid of it by worshipping me. Now here Sri Ramakrishna is also pointing to the same teaching. Can you be with a distressed heart, pray to him for his grace and revelation? If you are distressed in your heart, will it be possible for us to pray to the Lord for salvation? We are distressed, we are angry, we are unhappy. It becomes extremely difficult. What Sri Ramakrishna says, you shed potfuls of tears for the sake of your wife, children and property. For the material things we shed potful of tears. Oh, give me money. Make my family life comfortable. We shed potful of tears to the Lord. Have you ever shed a drop of tear seeking the Lord? That is Sri Ramakrishna's biggest question to his disciples, to his devotees. Do you ever shed tears to the Lord, in front of Lord, seeking the Lord? No. We shed tears. This is not good with me. Oh Lord, please give me this. I don't have sufficient money. Oh Lord, please give me money. My health is not good. Oh Lord, give me health. And we cry and cry and cry and cry. Do we cry, Lord, please give me your vision. Oh Lord, please show me who you are. Oh Mother, show me your beautiful face. I want to see you. Do we pray for that? Do we shed tears for that? That is what Sri Ramakrishna is asking. Have you ever shed a drop of tears seeking the Lord? As long as the baby is interested in toys, the mother minds her own business. When the child is awake, and mother has got her duties to do in the kitchen and other household works, mother gives some toys to the child and the child happily remains busy with the toys, and till the time the child is busy with playing with those toys, mother is also happily working in her kitchen, doing all the cooking, doing all the cleaning. As long as the baby is interested in toys, the mother minds her own business. But when the baby throws away those things and screams, mother rushes to the child to attend to its needs. Till the time child is busy playing with all those toys, blocks and animals, and mother is she is busy in her own work. And exactly same thing happens at the divine level, at the level of the divinity. We are busy with our own things. Mother has given us all these things to play. We are busy with our playthings. And their mother is happily taking care of the creation as such. That is her creation. Till the time we are busy in our playthings, mother is not bothered about us. She knows, okay, the child is busy, child is playing, let me do my work. But the moment we throw those playthings, we throw those toys, and we start missing our mother, and we give a cry. Oh mother, where are you? She cannot remain there in her kitchen or wherever she is, that she is doing her work. She leaves the work immediately. Halfway through she will leave the work and rush to the child. And then you behave likewise towards God, Sri Ramakrishna says. You behave the same manner, you behave likewise to the God, and He will reveal Himself to you. So Sri Krishna says in that shloka that you worship me. And Sri Ramakrishna says that you throw those playthings, you throw those toys and cry for the mother. What Sri Krishna says, worship me. Sri Ramakrishna says, you cry for the Lord. You shed tears for the Lord, for seeking the Lord. Don't shed tears for wife and the family and the monies and all those materialistic things. Don't shed tears for that, or the health and wealth. No. Shed tears for seeking the Lord. So that is what Sri Krishna has told us in this the third shloka, that everybody will reach me in due course of time. Don't worry about that. But in this impermanent and joyless world, in this anityam, asukhaṁ lokam, all you have to do is bhajasva. Just worship me and you will cross over this burdenful living. You will cross over this impermanent and the joyless creation, and you will come to me. So that was Sri Krishna teaching us the ultimate teaching, penultimate teaching in this 9th adhyaya of Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ram Krishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Swami.